Welcome, I'm Frédéric Desbiens from the Oracle Mobile Platform team. Analytics are at the core of what makes the Oracle Mobile Cloud Service great. By default, MCS Analytics gather only generic data about your users and the devices they use. To unleash their full power of MCS Analytics, you need to raise custom events from your code. In this episode, I will show you how to implement MCS Analytics for your Xamarin mobile app. To leverage MCS Analytics in your Xamarin app, the first step is to ensure that the MCS SDK has been properly installed and configured. Now, I will not describe the steps to do so here, since I already covered that in another video. Plus, getting more views makes my boss happy. Anyway, let's now go through a checklist to make sure your app is ready to go. The first thing is to ensure your mobile app is registered in MCS. Registration is done per mobile backend. If things fail, make sure you added the correct application key to your MCS configuration.json file. The second element on the list is the MCS SDK. If you forgot to add it, just add it to the relevant projects using the component manager in Xamarin Studio. And finally, ensure your MCS configuration.json file is properly configured and that all of your platform-specific projects contain the code required to initialize the SDK. If all you want to gather data about your mobile users, sessions and API calls, you're done. By that, I mean the SDK will send basic analytics data to MCS by itself. However, if you really want to take advantage of the power behind MCS Analytics, you will have to raise custom events. I will show you how to do that next. The great thing about custom events is that they do not require platform-specific code. They work the same independently of the target platforms. However, if you intend to run your app on Android, please make sure you have requested the following permissions in the manifest or through code: Internet, access network state, access find location, and access course location. As with other MCS APIs, all the features of the Analytics API are made available through a service proxy. The name of that proxy is Analytics, not surprisingly. The Analytics class contains methods for logging new or existing events, posting all events to the server, and starting and ending sessions. A session is simply a logical grouping of events. You can initiate sessions explicitly by calling the Analytics API, or you can let the SDK manage sessions itself. In this episode, I won't delve into details about starting and ending sessions. You will probably want to leave session management to the SDK in most cases anyway, since this pushes to MCS contextual information, such as geolocation, time zone, and device information, automatically. Another important class is Analytics Event. It contains methods to create new event instances, setting event properties, and returning information about an event such as the event name or timestamp. The Analytics page in the sample app that ships with the SDK is very plain. Let's make it a little bit more interesting by adding a good dose of ice hockey. What the new page will do is that it will enable you to pick your favorite hockey team and then specify since when you have been a fan. To get started, I completely replaced the contents of analyticspage.xaml. Users simply pick their favorite team using a picker and a date picker to specify the date they started rooting for the team. Once they are done, they just have to click the Submit button. This is how the screen looks at runtime. As you may suspect, this new screen is supported by a refreshed view model since I used data binding in a few places. Let's have a look at it. Most of the code is self-explanatory. There is an enum at the top of the file that I use to convert the index values from the picker in city names that will be passed to the Analytics event. I defined a few string constants, and after that are the class attributes, the class constructor, and the attributes getters and setters. The setters call notify property changed in order to notify bound components. The real MCS action can be found in the submit event method. First, I store a reference to the MCS Analytics service proxy in the Analytics variable. Then, I convert the index value of the team selection picker to a string value. To submit a custom event with more than a single property, I need to create an instance of the analytics event class. The constructor for that class requires that I pass the event's name as a parameter. This name is arbitrary, but I recommend you pick one that has meaning for your business people, as it will be displayed in the MCS Analytics UI. The Analytics Event class lets you specify properties for the events. Those properties are stored in a dictionary. Here, I get a reference to that dictionary and add the two values provided by the user. After that, all I have to do is to call the log event method on the service proxy with my custom event as a parameter. At this point, the event is placed in a queue. I could add more events to the queue and submit them in a batch. In this case, I send them to the server right away by calling flush async on the service proxy. This method is asynchronous, like most of those where the SDK needs to connect to MCS. Alright, now you know how to call the Analytics API to post custom events to MCS. There is a lot more to learn about using the Analytics API, however. Please have a look at our other episodes on the topic. Thank you for watching and happy coding!